Hello, good people. Welcome back to IN Facts Canada. My name is Anne, a registered nurse here in Canada. Today, I'm reaching out to my technology friends and the friends of my IT friends, if that makes sense. Today is your day. I'm going to show you a pathway that can help you to immigrate to Canada in 2024. But before I begin, let me appreciate you for returning back. And for those who it is their first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. Kindly, I request that you may make this channel your resource space by subscribing, and I guarantee you of credible information. Kindly also share this video with your friends and your families, and any other video that you get to watch on this channel, please share with your friends. So let's get started. Saskatchewan, just like any other provinces across Canada, has not been left behind. You might have come across so many other immigration pathways from other provinces. And Saskatchewan has also come up with pilot programs to be able to help the employers in the province to recruit from within the province and from outside of Canada. And the program that we are going to look at today is the Tech Talent Pathway, which is a pathway to permanent residence for those people who will meet all the requirements. Okay, and this pathway is just to help the employers in the technology sectors to be able to recruit for these occupations in the province. All right, this pathway, as I just mentioned, it's a pathway to permanent residence, and it's looking for high-skilled technology and innovation workers who intend to reside in Saskatchewan, and those who meet all the criteria as outlined for this pathway. Okay, so this pathway is a different pathway. It has two eligibility criteria, and we are going to look at them and all the requirements under each eligibility. But before we get there, I want us to look at the occupations that qualify for this category so that you can be able to know whether you qualify or not. Okay, we have a couple of occupations that have been given for this pilot program, and it has their NOC codes, so you can be able to search your occupation, and you can use the NOC codes to be able to know whether you fall in that category, and therefore you can be able to apply for this pathway. So we have 20012, that is computer and information system managers. We have 21310, that is for electrical and electronics engineers. We have 21311, that's computer engineers, except for the software engineers and designers. And then we have 21211, that is for data scientists. We have 21220, that is for cybersecurity specialists. We have 21221, that is for business system specialists. We have 21222, information system specialist. We have 21221, that's for business system specialist. We have 21233, that is for web designers. We have 21223, that is for database analysts and data administrators. We have 21231, that is for software engineers and designers. We also have 212 230, that is for computer system developers and programmers. We have 21232, that is for software developers and programmers. We have 21234, web developers and programmers. We have 21233, web designers. We have 220, that's computer network and web technicians. We have 22221, user support technician, as well as 22222, information system testing technicians. Okay, so those are the occupations in this tech talent pathway. So if you fall under those occupations, then you can go ahead and check out this pathway. All right, we are going to go ahead and look at the eligibility criteria. And as I mentioned earlier, this program has two eligibilities. Okay, we have non-express entry eligibility, and we have the express entry eligibility. Okay, and for the non-express eligibility, these are for the people who live outside of Canada, or those people with legal status in Canada. All right, so for this program, you can be able to apply from outside Canada or from within Canada, and that is the non-express entry eligibility. And so let's go ahead and look at the requirement under this eligibility, because each eligibility has its own requirement. And number one requirement is that you must be able to meet the work experience requirement. And under this, we have people who are already residing in Saskatchewan, and they have some jobs that they are working in. And therefore, for these people, if you are already in Saskatchewan and you're applying from Saskatchewan, then and you have a job that you are working currently, then you should be able to have worked in that job for the last 6 months, full-time job that is 30 hours per week, and that is a minimum of 780 hours. Okay, so if you're applying from Saskatchewan, make sure that you're going to meet that work experience. Okay, and the work experience should be related to the occupation that you are applying for. All right, so not just any other job. Make sure it's related to the occupation that you are applying for. The other one is for people who are already in Saskatchewan, but they do not have that job right now. Okay, so those people, they should be able to have at least 1 year of high-skilled related work experience in the past 5 years in the intended eligible occupation. So you can also apply even if you are not working in that job right now, but you have worked in that occupation for 1 year in the last 5 years. So you can also be able to apply for this pathway. So for those people who are applying from outside of Canada, you require 1 year of high-skilled related work experience in the past 5 years in your intended eligible occupation. Okay, so 1 year of work experience. All right, so that is for work experience requirement. Number 2 requirement under this category is language requirement. So for those people who are already working in that job that they have currently, they should be able to meet the language requirement as established by their employers. All right, for those people who are applying from outside of Canada, then you should be able to meet a language benchmark of 5 or higher. And especially for those who are applying for managerial occupations, make sure you have a CLB of 5 or higher. All right, so that's the language requirement. Number 3, they should be able to get license for those people in occupations that require licensing in Saskatchewan, such as computer engineers, software engineers and designers, data scientists, electrical and electronics engineers. They require to have a license in Saskatchewan, and therefore they're supposed to provide a letter from the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan, just to make sure that you have been registered with them, or your registration is in progress. So you should be able to check that, make sure that you have that if you're in that category. All right. The other thing is your education. You should be able to have a post-secondary education that is related to that occupation that you are applying for, whether it's a master's, whether it's a bachelor's degree, whether it's a diploma. You know, you must be able to have a related education towards that occupation. Okay, so the other requirement is that you must be able to attest of your intentions to reside in Saskatchewan. You must be able to declare that you are going to reside in Saskatchewan. That means you are coming to work and live in Saskatchewan. So it's not just like a pathway for you to get to Canada and then go to another province. They want to make sure that you intend to work and live in Saskatchewan, and you should be able to declare that. All right. The other thing is that you must be able to have an eligible, permanent, full-time job offer in the technology or innovation sector. Okay, so for those people who are already in Saskatchewan and you are working in that sector, you are good to go. And for those people who are outside of Canada and you do not have a job offer, don't worry, I'm going to leave a link of where you can be able to get those jobs, and you can be able to apply and get your approval letter. So don't worry, I'm going to give you that link in the description box. Okay, so those are the requirements in the eligibility criteria for non-express entry. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and look at the second eligibility criteria, and that is the express entry eligibility. So this is for people who are already accepted in the IRCC express entry pool. Okay, and as you might have known that express entry, it is not an immigration pathway on its own. It is just a platform where applications are processed, like immigration applications are processed. And just as it is called like a pool, it's a huge platform where provinces can be able to come in and be able to source out for skills that they require in their province. And that's where they come and check for those people who have already applied in different areas. Remember, the express entry has 3 streams. It has the skilled worker, it has the Canada experience class, it has the trains. So they come in there and be able to source out for the high ranking candidates. That's where the CRC scores comes from. So they will be looking for the high ranking candidates with the skills that they are looking for in their province, and then they are going to take those candidates and issue them with their ITAs. So that's all about the express entry. So it's not a pathway by itself. It's just a huge platform for all the provinces in Canada. All right. So for this eligibility, if you are already in the express entry, that means you have created an account and you have already been accepted in the pool. You're just waiting for the provinces to source you out or to receive an ITA. Then you are also eligible to apply for this program. Okay, and one advantage you have when you have an express entry account is that if you apply to such program or any other program, your application is given a fast priority processing, and that's an advantage to those people who are already in the express entry pool. They don't have to wait longer for their applications to be processed. All right. So these people who are already in the express entry pool, they should be able to provide a valid express entry profile number and a job seeker number. All right. They should also be able to have a language test that means that meets the federal express entry language requirement. And I know probably you might have come across this. The language requirement for express entry is a little bit higher. Okay, for those people applying through the express entry, their language benchmark is a 7 or higher, right? And that is because your language earns you points. So the higher you score, the more points you're going to get. Okay, so they require a very high CLB for your language requirement in the express entry. But it is a good thing anyways, because if you're going to be applying for those high ranking jobs, managerial jobs, for sure you really require that language ability for you to be able to communicate with other people or other staffs in your sector, right? So it's a good thing. So you must be able to meet that language requirement for the express entry requirement, all right? Then you must also be able to meet the work experience requirement, and that is if you are applying from Saskatchewan and you have a job and you're currently working in that job, you should be able to have at least 6 months of experience, or equivalent of 780 hours. That is if you are working a full-time. So you should have a full-time job. Okay, and if you're in Saskatchewan and you do not have a job, or you're not currently working in that occupation that you want to apply for, but you have some experience, then you should be able to have at least 1 year of work experience in your in that occupation within the last 5 years. Okay. And for those people who are applying from outside of Canada, then they also require a 1 year of high-skilled related work experience in the past 5 years for their intended eligible occupation. If your occupation requires licensing in Saskatchewan, just as I mentioned in the other eligibility, you need to make sure that you have already registered for your licensing, because they are going to require a letter from the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan. All right, so make sure you have already done that. Okay, so the other requirement is your education. You require a post-secondary education that relates to the job that you are applying for. And that is whether it's a master's, a bachelor's degree, a diploma, whichever that applies to you. Make sure that you have that education for your related eligible occupation. Okay, you must also be able to declare that you're going to live and work in Saskatchewan. Your intentions are to reside in Saskatchewan. All right, okay. And also for this one too, they require you to have a full-time job offer from the technology or innovation sector. All right, so you still need to have an eligible job offer. Okay, all right, so those are the qualifying requirements for that eligibility criteria. And therefore, if you meet that criteria for either of the eligibilities, then you are good to go. You can be able to go ahead and apply for this pathway. That's a very direct pathway, and it's very easy for you to go ahead and apply. Before I end this video, I just want to alert you guys, for those people who are applying for jobs for these programs, please make sure that your employer or the job offers that you are receiving are legit. Okay, no employer will be asking you to pay certain amount of money to get the job offer, so that should be a red flag for you. The job sites that I'm going to give on this platform, they are all very legit, so please make sure, if you're looking for jobs elsewhere, make sure that those jobs are legit, so that you don't end up with a fake job offer. So please be on the lookout. All right, wishing you all the best, and until next time, bye bye.